No, this is getting ridiculous now. I mean, the way this market is pumping here, we had the ETH narrative yesterday. All these ETH coins are absolutely blowing up. Now BTC is pumping again. And yeah, I mean, things are just absolutely wild right now. We're in uncharted waters here with what's going on. And first question I'm asking myself is, are we long or short BTC right now? So please answer in the poll urgently. Are we long or short BTC? I'll tell you why I have to take a trade. I'm going to tell you about that in a couple of minutes. Then today, what I have for you guys, I've got stacks, I've got ETH, obviously, I've got Sol at a trend, pushing some trend here, AVAX breaking trends, I've got Frax, ENS, Tao maybe might be a long according to 𝗪𝗓𝗓. I'm looking at that. Is it time to short Doge? It's at big resistance. Matic update, and so much to talk about, guys. Things are absolutely wild out there. So let's get right into this. I mean, everybody feels like the best trader in the world right now. If you grabbed longs in the last few days, I mean, you're in guard mode. You're sending your P&Ls to your mom. I'm telling you are. And that is often a sign where you start, where you need to be a little bit cautious. But look at this. We've got Ethereum Classic. Do you remember when Run told me and Sheldon these old coins are not going to do anything? Look at this ETH Classic that has just woken up, 43.9%. This thing is blowing up. It's unreal, actually. I mean, we saw BCH even earlier was in a nice little box. I'm still active in that BCH trade that I spoke to you guys about weeks ago. That could still be blowing up for us. But guys, I mean, it's nice to see a green screen like this. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, everything is moving right now. So let's just look at the current BTC situation. But please, there's a poll right now, long or short BTC. I'll tell you why. 2bit, one of the exchanges that I like to trade on, is running a competition right now. And to be part of the competition, you have to sign up in the link below and open a BTC position. So guys, answer the poll. I need to know, long or short. I need to take it right now. We're going to take it on a 30x. I've got Ray in the back. He's going to look at that poll for me and keep me updated. Right. So let's just look at something in the news quickly. I mean, this was a little bit of I don't know, this tweet wasn't a great vibe. You know, the guy was saying CPI in 30 minutes, this 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗧. He's like, you're going to lose all your money on leverage in 2 hours, 30 minutes. And CPI did come out. It wasn't that bad, but at the moment, crypto doesn't seem to be caring too much. But things are pretty hot right now. So we're going to tackle this. BTC situation quickly. This is BTC now on the weekly that we've been watching for so long. Is my story going to play out? I'm leaving this line here until proven otherwise. But here we are. We've hit my 48K target, and looks like we've got a little rejection here at this 48K. And again, there's nothing complicated about this and this chart that we're looking at. This is a simple 618 pull, which is all I really need in my life. A couple of these fibs and some horizontal levels to get us all excited. And here we are. I mean, we waited weeks and weeks and months for this, and we got our ping on the 48K. And once again, the 618 fib coming into play for us, and you just got to trust the science, really. On the 2-hour chart, if we take a look at what's happening here, this is my 2-hour range that I like to play with. And while I was plotting my levels earlier, we had this massive blowout here. We had this trend break. So now what we want to do for the bulls, we want to identify some levels here that we could pull back comfortably and not get too stressed about it. And the bears, well, we're going to look at some lower areas for you, even potentially, if the short is going to play out. So the first thing I would do today, big levels for me that I'm watching, 47,250. So that is a hot zone over here, 47,250. We've got horizontals, we've got a trend, and we've got a 382 fib. So we like that. 47,250, 47,200. That could be a nice little bullish pullback area still if we get that move. And then lower down, I'm playing the 618 game again. We know BTC loves the 618. And here we are, 46,150. This is my next level. 46,150 is our 618, and then we have the previous high for the year lower down at 45,700. And last gasp, where pullback area where I'd still be a little bit bullish on things, 44,700. So these are the levels I'm watching for today, and these are the levels we're going to be trading around, and this is how it affects my stuff. But these are my big areas that I'm watching currently. Ray, what's that poll looking like there in the back?
Man, they're extremely bullish. They're saying like 83% go long.
Okay, 83% want me to go long here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just get this out the way. Okay, let's get this out the way quickly. Okay, so 2bit. Okay, you guys know 2bit. There is a link in the description. Okay, there's a massive prize pool here. If you grab this link in the description, it's a limited offer here based on all this BTC hype. Okay, so here's 2bit right now, limited offer. You guys seen I've been trading on 2bit the last while. That last flush out took me out on that 1 inch, but they were courteous enough to leave me a little bit of change here. And basically what they're saying here is total trading volume, $10 million of total trading volume of people that sign up with a link will share prize pool of 2,000 USD, then $30,000, that's 5,000 USD, and up to top 5% participants with the highest trading volume, which exceeds 1 million, will receive a bonus prize as well. So that is what we're doing with 2bit. 85% of you are telling me to go long. Ray, can we confirm? Should we fade them?
We're at 81%. I would fade it.
Should I fade it?
Okay.
Okay, so 19% of you are telling me to go short. Let's go short. Okay, so here's 2bit, guys. I've rigged this here on a 30x. I've got $584 left. Let's open up a short on BTC. What I'm going to do here, 2bit trades a little bit like some of the other exchanges we use. I'm just going to drag this dial up here. You can see my leverage is set on 30. I'm going to click sell short. It's going to give me my liquidation level is 49,000. You think we're safe, Ray?
I mean, I would average in the position and put a stop loss.
Yeah, averaged in short. Okay, there we go, guys. Okay, so let me know the feelings there in the chat. So have I done the right thing, or am I sending myself to zero while I send BTC to zero? Okay, so keep me updated there. There we go. We are short currently off that 618 fib. Let's see how it plays out. Shot Ray, we'll chat to you now. Okay, guys, so let's go to the next one. I wanted to go through ETH. This was our banger from yesterday. This is ETH BTC, and you can see now with this current BTC pump that we're getting, we are struggling a little bit with this ETH BTC at the 200-week MA and horizontal. This was a big area for us that we identified yesterday as a potential resistance area, and a rejection here would obviously indicate a little bit more BTC strength over ETH. And if we do blow through here with the ETH BTC, well, then we are looking at a lot bigger things for ETH, and I think the alts in general are going to fly, as if they're not flying right now, as if they're not flying enough. But if we start blowing this with ETH BTC, then I think we are going to be good here. Leroy says, ask Jim Cramer to long or short. Okay, guys, let me know in the chat. Yeah, let's see what happens. Grateful says, no respect for the pump. Guys, this is all happening out here. I mean, there's so much going on. I got so much content for you. Okay, let's look at the current ETH situation, and here we are. So we've got ETH blowing through the 618. Okay, so it's also a big weekly pool here on the 618. And it's just blowing through. So what I would say, ETH traders, what we need to look out for is potential pullback zones on this weekly time frame, just to see, you know, if we're safe. If we do get some kind of pullback, we want to know, is it bullish? Are we going to get a bounce here or not? Or are they just sending us to zero? So what I would suggest here, keep your eyes on this 618. You can see there is potential support developing in this area. So anything down to say 2,500 for me on ETH is a first line of support that I would watch. And then a little bit lower down, we can pull some fibs here and just get a slight idea as to where we could bounce on a bullish retracement. And my next area, 2,450. And then a little bit lower down, we've got some cover on the 618 and the 50-day MA. So round about 2,300. So these are big levels for ETH. If we do get some kind of pullback or some kind of sell-off in the market, these are the levels that you want to be looking at as a trader. If you want to jump in on a position, these are key areas that could work for you. So 2.5, 2.450, and then we're looking at about 2,300. So right now, these are these short-term pullback levels that I like for ETH. Okay, guys, let's see who else is in the chats here. Antrox New York says, how the hell are we going to zero? Guys, we're just having a laugh here. It's nice to see so many bulls in the chats. I mean, we sweated out 24 months of bear market to get to the stage. I mean, let's just enjoy the moment and have a little bit of fun here. Right, who else is here? And guys, let me know what you are trading. I mean, it looks like anything we touched yesterday just absolutely blew up. And, it's time to be a little bit cautious and start looking at potential areas that we can jump into trades, especially if you guys weren't around 2 or 3 days ago when I gave you the first banger setups on those horizontals that you guys were too scared to take. Then they took off. Then when was it, Ray? I think it was 2 days ago. We gave another set of trades, and then we gave another set yesterday. They've all blown up. So now we are on our third day. It's our third day, right? And the third day, we need to be a little bit more cautious. We got to try and understand how these things are going to play out. So let's look at Stacks quickly. And we know Stacks is a great BTC play. And when BTC is bullish, we like the Stacks and Stacks ecosystem. And yesterday on the show, Simon was sitting here with me, and there were a couple of reasons that Stacks was potentially going to bounce, and I was a little bit reluctant. I was saying to Simon, "Oh, it's an ETH narrative here," but we've still got Stacks on a good level. We had it on a 618. We had trend. We had some horizontal, and Simon had 𝗪𝗚𝗓𝗏 telling us that we were going to get some kind of bounce. So those of you that took that trade on Stacks yesterday, you got yourselves approximately 17% little pump there. And things are still holding for Stacks. So Stacks fans, what you need to look out for here, support for you on the short term, 1.76. This is your first hot zone that you want to look at. If you do get some kind of pullback, you don't really want to start losing this area, 1.76. And then we do have this horizontal backup on the 618 at 1.68. So these are the two main areas you want to watch. And remember, it's quite a simple play here. Stacks has been bullish. We got a nice rising trend. So the same play again. If we start losing a rising trend like this, you're looking for that little reaction up, but then things are potentially turning a little bit more bearish, and then you start just tracking it down like that. So right now, rising trend for Stacks. We are still bullish until proven otherwise. When we lose that trend, then we change our plan. Kim, what's Kim talking about these filthy coins? What's going on here? 𝗧𝗢𝗔𝗡 says KSM looking good. I'm telling you, anything looks good in this market. Even the shittest coin you can think of, like ETH Classic, is looking good in this market. So yeah, I mean, a rising tide raises all boats, doesn't it? Okay, the Foggy 82 is chasing me for link. Yeah, I've got an update on all of these things for you guys. So there's so many trades we looked at yesterday. I've obviously can't do all of them, but we're going to cover what we can.
I think you're short.
What's that?
I think you're short is printing.
You think my short is printing? Ah, that's the way we like it. Guys, long altcoins, what? Long alt, short BTC. This is all we want, guys. Just remember, those of you that track this dominance, this is this dominance play. This is BTC dominance on the weekly that we were looking at yesterday. And we were saying to you, what do we need to happen here? We wanted to reject in this area. We got that little rejection. And then you can see what happened now. They've pushed it down. They've lost this trend. And, as long as this dominance is dumping, and BTC is a little bit flat. And when I say flat, it could be ranging in a tight little range or whatever like that. As long as this dominance is dumping, we know these alts are cooking. So right now, we have lost trend on this dominance. This is a nice indicator for our altcoins. Some resistance down here or some support for dominance might slow these alts down at about 51%. So let's keep an eye when we get down at this 200-day MA. But right now, we have lost this trend on dominance. So things could be shifting in the altcoins favor right now. Okay, the next one I want to talk to you about, NEAR. I mean, look, everything's pumping right now. So they released some FUD about NEAR. They're cutting staff 40%. Normally would be bearish AF for NEAR. And what does NEAR do? NEAR says, okay, well, cool. I'll just carry on pushing up. And here's NEAR on the 8 hour. And again, looks very much like the Solana chart right now. So you probably couldn't really tell the difference between the two. So right now, NEAR, we have a little bit of trend pressure at the moment. So what I want to suggest for those of you that want to play a NEAR trend break, what we can do is try and identify a safe pullback area and identify a bail area in case this thing turns south for us. So what we're going to do is take a look at the first area. The most bullish for me is a 382 horizontal and support tie-in. So look what we've got here. We've got a trend, we've got a 382, and we've got horizontals on the 8 hour talking to us on NEAR. So this is our first level of interest if we get a pullback into that zone. And then our next banger area is the 618. So these are both bullish areas for me for pullbacks on near. So just to confirm these levels right now that I'm watching, 3.54 and 3.36. These are the two areas I'm watching for near. And bulls, you just want to see something simple like this. If we get a little flush, that's your play. You just wanted something nice and clean there. You could even try and ladder into your entries potentially if you do get that opportunity. And here, a little buy here at around 3.53, and then a little buy there at around 3.37. Generally, if things are going to remain bullish, we generally get a bounce in one of these areas, especially after a trend break. So that's what you can do to identify your hot zone. And then if things are getting a bit frothy and the market needs a little bit of a reset, it's quite a simple play. You start losing these lower levels, you start losing your 618 fibs, you start losing these horizontals, and quite often, again, you lose the trend, and then things turn bearish, and then we reset and we readjust where we want to be. But right now, we're going to play what's in front of us, and the safest areas that we can look at for near are these two that we've identified here for the bulls. So let's see how we go. Next one is Sol. Similar looking chart. Here we are. A little bit of trend pressure for Solana, and again, dipping down into our first area of interest, which is our 382 at where we now at 99. And then we do have our next level, which is our 618, also ties in beautifully with this horizontal at 94. So that is a nice little area. And again, pretty simple targets that we could look for on these movers, AVAX and Sol. You can take your fib from the high and you can pull it to the low, and then you want to try and identify some horizontals and some fib regions where we could get some TP. So I'm going to add in a 786 here, and look at that. So we got a nice horizontal and 786. This we know now, if the market pumps, we know this region up here at 116 is going to be a potential rejection zone or a TP zone. So that's our first area we're going to watch, and then we can watch the highs for Sol at around about 124 to 125. So I like those. So if things are going to stay bullish, the bulls want to see a bounce 382. You want to see a bounce 618. And then you can play the game. Then you can play that move again and send it higher. And simple play, same as AVAX. We start losing the 618, then things potentially start turning a little bit more bearish, and then we start identifying trend levels and things like that. And right now you can see on this chart, we've got the 50-day MA now coming up at around about 83, tied in with some trend there. So that could be your next potential level of interest. Denise says, Casper is pumping. Of course Casper's pumping. Didn't we say it was going to pump yesterday, Ray? I'm sure we gave that Casper setup. Emir says he closed his link long with profit. That was Emir's in Sniper Club with us. For those of you that don't know about Sniper Club, there is a link in the description. But Sniper Club is a paid service with the entire Sniper team. It's me and Sheldon and the whole crew that you see here. And Emir, he's one of our members there in the Sniper Club, and he's obviously taken that link trade that we gave yesterday. Yeah, I see Rudy's here as well. Rudy's also in that cash trade that we gave. Ashish says the market is crashing. Let's see how bad the market is crashing. Is my short printing? Let's check into my short here. Yeah, it's printing. Okay, we up. Okay, now remember, guys, this could just be a bullish short. It doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It just means, a little pullback here, and we're going to watch our bullish areas. I'm by no means a bear under these current conditions. I just thought with 85% voting that we need to be long and strong. It just felt like it was time for a potential pullback there. Luba, this is right up your alley, by the way. Luba's our resident bear. She must be loving that I shorted this one. Okay, let's look at AVAX. This is the next one. Okay, nice little pullback here on AVAX. So AVAX, again, also looking good. We had a trend break. You'll see it looks very similar to Solana and Nia that we looked at earlier. And now it's the same play for us. We're looking for potential bullish pullback areas on AVAX. So what we can do here is, if we are super bullish, okay, emergency bullish, you pull out the 236 fib. Okay, next level is the 382. So what we can see is going on here, AVAX broke a nice horizontal. You can see what happened here. They tested it once, they tested it twice, they broke it the third time. Okay, and now BTC is melting back a little bit. But your first area of interest here for AVAX, 39.2. Okay, that's right here where we are right now, and still very bullish here, down to 37.5. Okay, nothing wrong with 37.5. That is a hot zone. And then we've got our backup, 50-day MA, 618 at 35. Okay, so let's just adjust this box here. Let's just pull this up here. So you can see what we got here. We've got a lot of support lower down. So market really needs to be melting down for AVAX to lose these areas. And 50-day MA at 35, tied in with some horizontal. There is some trend as well. So it's 35, 37.5, and right here where we are is an area of interest for us. So keep an eye there. This could be a long coming up here for AVAX. But remember, things have been hot. There's been late longs, so many late longs, guys. The best longs were yesterday. The best longs were 2 days ago. The second best longs were yesterday. If you're longing today, especially the guys using big leverage here, if you're taking longs today, obviously you're going to get under pressure because there's late longers jumping in. You can see this market is hot, and what they do quite simply is they just come and flush you out, little reset, and then they send it again. So don't be surprised if they do come with these quick little flushes. And once again, just identify your hot buy zones, because these are potential opportunities. As long as we are holding these trend breaks here, these are potential hot opportunities for us to really take advantage of these altcoins and a potential mini alt season. Let's call it that. Okay. Let's look at Frax. So I just saw this interesting post. It was actually in the newsroom, the Banter newsroom. For those of you that follow it, you can see the newsroom on Banter Bubbles actually. And there was a post in our newsroom, and interesting discussion here on the Circle IPO that you guys might have heard about. And he's talking about what can we trade, that would tie in with that quite nicely. And Frax was one of them that we looked at yesterday, and now it's moving into a hot zone right now. I'm actually glad this timing is actually impeccable. So let's just recap on Frax. Yesterday we looked at this guy, and we identified a potential resistance area, rejection zone, and look, you can see where it is here. It's pinged here, 10.8. That was a rejection area. For those of you that got this, I mean, this thing absolutely blew up, so it makes perfect sense that it's going to pull back. We were looking at it down here yesterday at 8.2, and let's see what they gave us. We were somewhere around here, I think, on the 50-day MA yesterday. They gave us a little 23% or 29% pump, I think that was. And what we want to do now is identify a hot zone to buy. If we are bullish on this Frax, we need to find a hot area, especially for the leverage traders. And the first thing I can give you is these horizontals. Look at this guy. These are 4-hour resistance areas here. And we finally cracked the resistance. And what we see happen so often is we break these areas and then we come back and retest it. And, ideally, the bulls, they want to see these areas hold, these horizontals. And even better if we can get some kind of tie-in with some fibs here. And we can really bring the Fibonomics into this and execute some proper science here. So let's see what we got. Look at that, 382. Okay, I love this. 382 coming into play right here. So 2 hot zones. If you are bullish on FXS, now remember, this market could flush quickly. They could give you a little wick down to some hot zones. So I would watch 2 big zones here. I would watch this 382 tied in with horizontal, 9.45. Okay, hot zone for FXS. And then your next hot zone, I actually really like the look of this. We've got the 50-day MA pushing up. We know these altcoins like the 50-day MA. We've got a little bit of horizontal tie in here. You can see we've got a nice little cluster coming through over there. And we've got our 618. So your 2 hot zones for Frax, 9.45, 8.6. These are your hot potential long buy zones. So right now, it's actually in your first bullish pullback area where it is right now. And then your next play is perhaps a little flush down to that region, and 8.6. Then you're away, and then the target again is going to be 10.8. We want to try and attack those highs, and what happens after that? Well, then it's anybody's guess. Then we could really be sending things. Okay, let's see what else is happening here. Render, Aave we did yesterday. Aave was looking good, guys. We did we did a bit of Matic yesterday. Progressive Martian says, why is the market crashing? Late longers, mainly late longers. Obviously, there was a lot of hype into these ETFs. They were started trading now this afternoon, and a little bit of hype into it. Nothing wrong with that, and nothing wrong with a little flush out and a reset. Well, I mean, there is something wrong with it if you're trading 100x leverage. That's a different story. I mean, then you're gonna get flushed. But nothing wrong in a bullish market with a little bit of flush here or there. Unless it's the biggest rug pull in history. I mean, then there's nothing we can do about that if they're playing something bigger than that. Okay, let's go. Tomaroni says, let's get 𝗔𝗔𝗘𝗘. Hit up some 15-minute scalps. I'm with you, Tomaroni. I'm keen. Okay, let's go. Next one, ENS. Another one. We spoke about this guy yesterday. I mean, Vitalik posted some news or some comments on this thing. It's just absolutely blown up since he spoke about it. And weekly, I just wanted to show you guys a weekly before we dial into where we were yesterday. Right, ENS weekly. You can see what's going on here. Weekly resistance area, very big zone. Makes perfect sense. You push into an area like that, makes perfect sense that you're going to get some kind of reaction. And you can't get upset. If you're trying to long the top of a big weekly area at the end of a big pump, expect to be rejected a little bit. Doesn't mean it's not going to blow through the next time, but they must test these areas first, and then we must pull back and consolidate a little bit. So 24.5, that is your main resistance zone, and just weekly support right now. So it's blown through this next area. It's overnight it's happened, but the next area we're watching is 20 on the button here for ENS. And let's just pull some fibs just to check if we've got any confluence here. Okay, so we got a little bit of confluence here on the 236. Now, 236 is like super bullish shit, guys. I definitely prefer the 382. If you're playing 236, quite often you get a little flush at some point. A 382 I prefer, but look, it's an area. So 20.5, we have the 236. And 20 on the button, we have the weekly horizontal support. And then your next area, you can see, oh, this is beautiful. Look at this thing. Look at this. Okay, we've got 2 weekly touches and a 382 perfectly lined up at around 18.2. Okay, so these are big pullback areas for ENS. Now let's dial in and just see what happened yesterday and just get our heads around this thing. Okay, let's try and keep this a little bit cleaner for you guys. Okay, so this is where we were yesterday. We were looking for this break. We were looking for this retest. They gave us a little pullback. It nearly hit the zone perfectly. A little pullback there. But this thing absolutely ripped. And zooming in, what do we get? A nice big rejection candle. Okay, so we know that they want to send this one a little bit lower. So what I can suggest, let's zoom out. We watch this weekly. And your areas that you want to watch. 20.5 down to 20 and 18.2. These are all bullish areas still. Okay, so don't, we don't need to turn bearish if we start hitting 18. Hitting 18 might be an opportunity here for us. Okay, let's go. Matic, another big one from yesterday. I mean, this just played out. Guys, I mean, we've been talking Matic for a while here. And, when it plays out like this, they gave us this inverse head and shoulders. It was looking so good. They were putting pressure on the trend. They were putting pressure on the 50-day MA. They were putting pressure on the horizontals. What did they do? They blew it up. They retested, and they gave us the next trend, which was our target. I just love it when these charts listen. It's just beautiful. Okay, so here we are. Resistance area here, you can see it's clear resistance now. We've got trend pressure, rejection here for Matic. Obviously, this is now, it's got work to do. Matic needs to do some things before it can break this trend. And let's just identify this. Matic bulls. Let's see what we got. Again, you just want to pull out your fibs. You want to see where they tie in horizontals. Do you get tie-in? Here we go. At the moment, 8-hour tie-in with horizontals, and this 618. No, this just makes me happy here. This is just really making me happy. Okay, here's a great zone for you guys. So if we get a flush out, okay? You get a flush out, and we're talking squeaky bum time where you guys are sweating, and your positions that you late longed, if you were late for your longs, and you were longing today, and we get some kind of flush out, these are hot bullish zones here for Matic, okay? This is what you're looking at. 0.89, okay, hot zone 1, 0.89 to 0.88, hot zone 2, 50-day MA tied in with 618, tied in with horizontal, okay, that's a hot zone, 0.85, okay, so watch these areas closely. If they start melting us down, okay, this is where you want to be. You've got to watch these areas, just play it safe, be patient, okay, we could get something like that, okay, that's still a very bullish bounce here for me on Matic, so anything down to 0.85 I'm loving on Matic, and then 0.89 to 0.88 all is acceptable. And then obviously we have plan B, which is we turn super bullish right here, okay, and that's fine. We blow this trend, that's cool. We reject, we're going to look for that little retest, and then we can send it. So all options are covered here, guys. Just play it safe, you know, don't FOMO. Just, you know, assess what's happening. Okay, Seth. Dot TPs. Oh, I see Dot was pumping. I don't trade Dot enough. It's actually criminal not to trade Dot. You know, it's got such a bad rep with us. We just hated it. But yeah, it has 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓. This show is better than swiping right on Tinder. Yeah, because you make money out of it too. Okay, let's see. Darren likes GRT. We had a GRT set up yesterday on Lux. That was looking pretty good. And these guys are talking about 𝗓𝗡𝗡 all the time. I don't know what this 𝗓𝗡𝗡 is, but yeah, they were spamming this 𝗓𝗓𝗡 yesterday. Let's see what else we got here. 𝗬𝗓𝗡, yeah, 𝗬𝗓𝗡's been a pumper today. Filecoin was pumping today. Double Hit says, why are we not concerned about the massive wicks? I think, look, wicks are, we take note of these wicks, obviously, but remember, the market has been so bullish right now. It makes perfect sense that things get flushed a little bit, and they're going to clean out. They're going to clean people out. There's no doubt about it. And you know, you can't jump in 3 days into the trades and start expecting these things to continue just pumping. At some point, these altcoins need to consolidate. At some point, the market just needs to breathe and calm down, you know, and they need to flush out a bit of these longs, just clean things up, and then we go again. And you know, that's why, guys, that's why I always say to you again, come to me when the market's red. Those are going to be your best days, because when the market is bleeding out and you hate crypto, that's where you're getting your best entries. If you're coming for entries today, we've already been trading these coins for 2 or 3 days. You know, we're well into these trades. And now we're getting our second, third, fourth best entries on these moves. The best opportunities are always on these red days when the market's melting out and you're feeling a little bit shit about things and actually hating crypto. That's when you need to be coming to watch me most of the time. That's when you need to be here. And, you know, it's like you guys aren't here on those red days. You need to come. Okay, let's look at DYDX. This was a nice one, and you guys know I was married to this DYDX, and they eventually did carry me out on that stretcher. I said they're going to take me out on the stretcher, and they did. They came and they flushed me out. But yeah, I couldn't resist. It was a great area the other day that we brought up. I think this was 2 days ago. We did bring this one up on the show, and if you look at this weekly chart on DYDX, it made so much sense to start building along. In this area, we had the 200-day MA, we had weekly support. It was just a massive region. We had a 786 fib. So for me, DYDX was a buy. I think myself and Bruce both took this long. It must have been 2 days ago. Yeah, we had this beautiful bounce off this 2.3 region. So for me, DYDX traders, massive support here at 2.3. You can see it has pumped. Let's dial in a little bit here and try and assess what's going on. And you can see we've had a short-term trend break, and we've had a short-term trend retest. Okay, so far, nothing to really panic about. Let's just see what fibs we get to tie in here. And you can see what they're trying to do here. At the moment, it's a trend retest and a typical horizontal and 382 retest. So bulls, this is your area here. This is your retest area. If you want to have a stab at this one, this is a typical trend retest. It's the same setup as all these trades we took this last week. I'm going to show you now. But we break the trend, we retest trend horizontal 382. So for me, this is an entry zone for DYDX, anything down to about 2.64. And then you have your next area, horizontal 618. Okay, you can see that is another bounce area. You can see we've got nice horizontals here, 2.5. So that is your next potential bullish area. And then massive weekly support at 2.3. Okay, that is a huge area. We know there's a couple of unlocks and things like that on DYDX, but the biggest one I think was out of the way. And yeah, these are your areas. So again, if you want to play a trend break and you're a breakout trader, okay, here we go. Here's your first entry. Here's your second potential entry on DYDX. And remember, the guys that didn't like crypto a week ago, okay, who were bearish on it, saying we're going to zero, these were your best entries when we were sitting here. It must have been Monday or Tuesday. We were sitting here and trying to grab these areas. So remember, solid support areas, generally your best entries. The trend breaks and the retests, they're your second best entries. Okay, let's look at optimism. Okay, let's see how we're going here. Okay, so our optimism trade from yesterday, we hit our TP1. So well done to everybody who got that one. You can see we just pinged our TP1 box there. So again, this was a typical trend break and retest setup that you've just seen now on DYDX. And again, for me, optimism, support, nothing's changing here. Support area that we're going to watch, 3.45. This is our support region. It's probably going to tie in with a 618 now on this new pool. So let's pull the 618. Let's see where we are. Okay, so 618 is a little bit lower here. So you're going to look at support all the way down to 3.38 for optimism. And right now, you can see there's a hot zone here, 3.65. So if the market's going to remain bullish, you're generally going to expect some kind of reaction on these two guys. Okay, that's how they play it. And that's where you want to be. If things are going to turn bearish, well, then we're testing the lows from a few days back, and then you're going to be looking at the 3 level on optimism. Okay, so that is your next bounce area. So if things turn bearish, some stops get hit and things like that, that is where you're looking at your next level at around about 3 on optimism. But right now, this trade has hit TP1, so anybody who took that trade, you could be raising your stops already to your entry, so you've made profit and you are now risk-free and everything is just cruising. Let's do an update on CAS. Okay, CAS has now also hit our TP1 from yesterday. Again, the exact same trade I just showed you now on DYDX. What did we get on CAS? We got a trend break, we got a retest, we got a 382, we got a horizontal bounce, and off it went to the races. So CAS is now in play and it's hit its TP1, so that one is also good. And you can now you can raise your stops if you want to. You can bring it to your entry again, and risk-free trade now in play for CAS. Let's look at Link. Okay, Link's also firing. Same trade, break of trend. What did we retest? We retested the 382, retested the 618. I mean, this is a perfect example of what I've been showing you on some of these other tokens now. If you are bullish, you come back, you look at the 382, you look at that 618, get your little buyers in there. And if the market's going to stay bullish, that's where that stuff's bouncing. If things are going to turn south, well, you know, as a trader, these are the risks we take. And if we lose those areas, well, then we wait for the next entry. But right now, yeah, all is well with Link. We hit our TP1 at 15. We've now blown through the 50-day MA. So I actually quite like the look of this at the moment here. So Link traders, we've blown this 50-day MA. We've blown the horizontal. You can see what's going on here. Trying to get some kind of support in this area. Again, it's not super strong support, but we are watching here. Watch Link closely. We might be off to our TP2 at 16 shortly, I would say. Let's see how that goes. Wayne, still the man. He's always giving the fire. Guys, I'm trying my best to give you the fire. You know how much I love these altcoins. And you know, when they listen to me, it just makes me happy, you know. And yeah, when they bounce off these areas, I get very excited. Okay, let's see what else we got. Let's look at Say. Okay, so Say again. I'm still in the Say position. I don't have that account open. But yeah, I'm still holding the Say position that I opened at the beginning of December. And again, my view on Say is that we are in a rising trend here, Say traders. So as long as this rising trend stays intact, there's no real reason to exit this position. So, you know, especially if you got these deep entries, my entry is around about here at I think it's 36, 37, that sort of region is my average entry. So as long as Say is in this rising trend, for me, there's no real urgency or need to exit this position. So right now, Say traders, watch this trend. Support that I can give you today, 0.68. That is your first line of support that you want to be watching for Say. So, you know, if they do come down and they try and melt us down a bit, you can see there's a little trend in play here that they have been following, like a secondary trend that you can keep your eyes on. You can see they've just been dipping out. They've just been threatening to take us down, but they keep pushing it back up. So keep your eyes on that. If we do lose the trend, you know what's going to happen. We're going to get a reaction on one of these horizontals, then they're going to bounce it back, okay, and then we're potentially looking a little bit bearish. So a very simple method here in this rising trend. So when we start losing and things start looking sad, we'll know. It will give us the signs that things are starting to turn over. Okay, let's look at SSV. This was another one from yesterday, but I've lost my chart. Where's the stuff? Okay, see if we got another one. Okay, that was the perps. Okay, here we are. Okay, so SSV, this is what we were looking at yesterday. Let's dial out quickly. Again, ETH play, ETH narrative play. If ETH is going to be strong, this is where you need to be looking, these type of things. And again, pushing into this massive weekly horizontal area with an upside target for us of around about 41. So this is still in play for SSV. Let's just dial in and just break down what's happened since yesterday. And again, nothing too serious here. We're getting support in the area we wanted. This is exactly what we were looking for. And right now it's coming back to test this horizontal. Let's just readjust this fib. Okay, so you can see yesterday's pool was at these lows. Let's pull it higher. And you can see how this is now starting to tie in, this little retest. So we've got 382, we got horizontals here. So SSV, for me, this is the first bullish area that you want to be looking at for a potential entry to play the range up to 41. Okay, so this is your first area. What you can do as well is you can pull this trend down. Okay, so you might want to look for a trend retest if they're going to send it lower, and then you can plug in some other fibs. So we're going to pull from the low to the high, which you can see I've done, and then we just want to pull in the 618 as well. And look at this nice juicy zone here. I mean, this is beautiful. Look at this. Okay, 618 horizontal, nice little area for SSV. And again, nothing wrong after a move like we've had in the last couple of days for some of these altcoins to breathe. It doesn't mean it's over. It just means they want to reset, breathe it out a little bit, and maybe another entry is going to present itself. So this is what you're looking for, SSV. It's either going to bounce here for me if it's bullish. Okay, so it must bounce now, somewhere in that region. Otherwise, preferred area here, based on what I'm seeing here, 618 horizontals. Okay, both are still bullish for me. Okay, and then your main support zone where you've got the most tie-in. If we do lose that, we back to where we were. Where was this? Monday, Tuesday. We back at 28. Okay, so these are your levels. Okay, Irene wants to see CRV. Now, Irene, I've been contemplating bringing the CRV to you guys again because it looks so shit. It's like it's been abused, the CRV. You know, fundamental guys on the chats, let me know. I'm sure there's some smart fundamental guys here. Talk to me about CRV in the chats quickly. I'm going to show you a CRV chart that I've got for you guys. And maybe it's the biggest lagger in history, or maybe it's the biggest shitcoin in history. We might actually find out. Because I'm going to show you this chart that I've prepped for you guys shortly. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, I'm not going to pull out the CRV yet. Okay, 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗓. Is there a possible long on 𝗫𝗫𝗘 on 𝗘𝗫𝗓? Okay, so the first thing, in fact, OG Craig brought this one to my attention today. He said, I've got a token for you. And here's 𝗘𝗫𝗓. And what I've done here, this is 𝗘𝗫𝗓 on the 12 hour. What I've done here is I've pulled out 𝗓𝗓𝗏, and I wanted to get an idea from Lux as to what Lux thinks is going on. And you can see what they did here. Lux printed a short for me. When was this? On the 18th of December. Okay, so now we knew we were in a downtrend. Now remember, this token has been pumping for days, for weeks, and it's time for a little bit of a breather. And they printed that short early December, drifted down. We've printed an X on 𝗓𝗓𝗏. That's a good start for us, and dipped into our cloud. And what I'm watching closely now, I'm looking for potential reversal here on Lux. And the way I go about this is I start identifying when Lux gives me that first X, I start looking for areas of horizontal support that tie in with my horizontals, fibs, those type of things. And the first area I've got for 𝗘𝗫𝗓 right here, 228. This is my first support area here that I'd watch closely if I was looking for an entry on 𝗘𝗫𝗓. Then you do have these two wicks that you can play with. Don't really want to go lower than that guy, 192. Okay, so could very easily give us something along these lines, a little second visit, little bite into that zone. You could look for something like that, so around 192. But right now for me, I'd watch this horizontal 228 to 230, and bulls, you can also just kick back and be a little bit patient. There is no rush here. What you can do is just wait for this little trend break. So this is how we could play this. Okay, you could also just kick back, relax. Okay, you're going to look for something like this, little rejection. You can buy that little retest, and then you know your upside target here on 𝗘𝗫𝗓 is 291. So that is still in play. So two options here, you know, wait for a little pullback, 228. Maybe you can nibble a bit there. Next big pullback, 194. Otherwise, wait for this little trend break, and you can start buying this little break, buy the retest, and then you know your target is this 50-day MA at around about 290. It's tied in with some horizontals as well. Oh, Bully Ball says 𝗕𝗬𝗓𝗡 is Vitalik's cat. I mean, so what do we have in? I mean, this is so crypto. We got Vitalik's mom. Okay, what does she give us? Metas. We got Vitalik's cat, 𝗕𝗬𝗓𝗡. I mean, what are we missing? Does the man have a dog? Maybe he's got a hamster. Let us know what he's got. Okay, let's see what else is happening in the chat. Revved Up Biker says, I wouldn't touch CRV until after Feb. Tokens bought to pay off debt. You see, that's key fundamental information. 𝗬𝗓𝗘 seems to really like CRV here. He seems to be a massive fan. David says, CRV has some FUD on it, still from the founder's debt position. Okay, interesting stuff. So that is why they're keeping it down. So I'm going to leave this chart here. I'm going to leave this chart here for you guys to take a look at. Let's pull up CRV. There it is. Okay, this is the biggest lagger in crypto history. I used to trade the CRV in the last bear. You can see I had a lot of fun with it. You can see we had some nice moves. Let's just get an idea. That previous low, when was that? July 21. You know, they gave us about 380%. Not a big deal. And now melting down into the weekly horizontal. But what I do like about this is that it has found some kind of support. Now remember, the FUD about CRV not too long ago, and I don't know if this is still in play, but if they lost a certain level, the project was basically over, from what I understood. So, you know, for me, hot zone here, massive support. 0.44 down to 0.4 is massive weekly support for CRV. And again, there's no rush to jump into CRV. Once this thing turns bullish, you're going to have so much time. This is the weekly chart. So once this thing turns bullish, you're going to have so much time to prep here to get into this thing. And, you know, ahead of it, we've got the 50-day MA at 0.6. We still need to break that. We still need to find support on that 50-day MA. Once we have support on that 50-day MA, I'd probably say to you guys now, it's time to start looking at the CRV. So what I'm going to suggest, if we get a pullback on CRV into this weekly support zone, 0.44 down to 0.4, anything in there, that's where you're going to start nibbling. Otherwise, you want to wait till we break this 50-day MA at 0.6, gets a little bit of support here, and then this trade is going to be on here. And we can buy this retest once we break this weekly trend. And then we're going to be looking for a big move here. We're looking for about 148% on CRV. So again, there's no rush right now. It's not in the perfect place. We can break the 50-day MA, retest that, nibble there, break the trend, retest that, add to this position. And then if it's still going to be bullish, we're going to send this thing, and we're going to send this thing hard. We're going to send this thing to 1.49. Okay, so that's a really nice target. Ivan wants to know about NEAR. I think we did do NEAR. Don says down was expected. No worries. Ray, how's our short here? Oh, we're cooking. Okay, so guys, here's something interesting. Okay, and you see it all over. If Twitter is saying one thing, okay, if most of Twitter is saying one thing, then you know. Okay, if you're flashing your P&L to your mom and your girlfriend from your winnings and your gains this afternoon, you know you called the top. You just didn't know you were calling the top. Okay, when you show your wife your P&L, that is the top of that move. That is the top of that trade. We've all done it. I still do it. My wife thinks I'm crazy. You know, whenever I flash the P&L, she says, "No, you got to sell some." And I say, "Well, you don't understand. You don't understand crypto. It's going higher." And what happens? It comes down. Okay, so this is how it works, guys. This is the process, especially in a bull market. So expect them to come and flush you out. And, you know, I think the signs were there. Remember, in these polls that we do all the time, when 85% of you want to send something one way, I think the most obvious trade is to fade that. Okay, and you saw me and Ray there. We faded that move, right? Where there was a 19%, I think, wanted the short. And that's how it is. So, you know, right now, this short is cooking. You can see it's $600 up. I've doubled my account in 48 minutes. I mean, that was fun. Okay, almost time to close it. So let's look at these BTC. Let's look at these BTC levels quickly and see if it's time to close the short.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Nine zones around 45, 48, 45.
38, Raymond. Did you just say 38?
That's on a higher time frame. In the short time frame, you can expect to bounce around 45.2 and 44.
If you're sending guys to 38K, they're not going to be happy with you. Okay. Okay, guys, look at these areas. Okay, is this the biggest rug pull in history? Well, we're going to find out. But right now, 45,600. We're still watching this 45,600. I'm still okay for the bulls. 44,700. Still okay, yeah. 44,700. And then, guys, remember, squeaky bum time here at 43. We start losing this 43, guys. Woo! It's going to be a rough ride. Okay, so watch this 43. 44,600 to 44,700. And right here, in fact, you know what we're going to do? We're going to pull out a little secret. Now, guys, we've got a lot of good traders in the Sniper Club, okay? One of our traders there, DJ Dave, he likes to use the Keltner channels to give us signs of a reversal. And he likes it on the 15 minutes. So when we zoom in on the Keltner channels, it's KC, okay? He likes to see that the channel gets broken either way, okay? And you can see what happened here. The channel got breached over here. And what did they do? They reversed us. So we're looking for a nice solid breach of this channel. And then we know the move is potentially over and it's going to start reversing. So that is kind of what we're looking for. Right now, you can see BTC is trying to react on this 46K area. So yeah, let's see how we go. So Ray, where are you calling me to close this short? 44,700?
I mean, yeah, 44,700, that's the early exit. If you go to 44,400.
Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to put my stop back at entry. Okay, so let's put a stop here on 2bit. Remember, guys, there's a competition now on 2bit. So log into 2bit. There are all sorts of sign-up bonuses as well. There is a link in the description. I'm going to add a stop loss here. Let's go stop loss.
Profit, a little bit of profit. Get paid for walking.
47,650. Okay. They must send me to zero, bro. They must send me to zero or double my account. It's quite simple. Take profit. Let's put in a nice little take profit area here. Let's see it. Okay, let's not be too greedy here. Let's go 44,800. Okay, let's go 44,800. Okay, there we go. I'm either going to make $10 or I'm going to make $1,000. But anyway, it was a fun exercise, right? Okay, let's see what else we got here, guys. 𝗧𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗓. Okay, this thing is looking interesting. Okay, here's something for you guys. This was a new token, dropped, sold off, and now things are starting to look interesting here. What I would suggest here for the bulls, this is 𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗢. This is the 15-minute. It's a new token, so obviously we don't have much data available on 𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗢, but here is your support that you want to see regain. So right now we are at resistance. So ideally what we want to see here, and we can figure out if this is going to be on or not, we want to see the pop. We want to see the retest here, and then I think we've got a trade potentially coming here for this 𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢. So watch your levels here, 0.625. That is a potential area here for you to watch the support, and then you've got your lows, which interestingly enough is probably going to be a 0.5 here. Let's highlight this 0.5. There we go. Okay, so we've got a 0.5 and horizontal tied in here at 0.596. And what I want to see on this 𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗢, 0.62, call it 0.627 as a nice horizontal. You want to see that hold. Okay, let's see. Oh, guys, I've got some shit coins for you. And again, it was topical today because I'm the worst meme coin trader, unless this is a nice chart like Bonk. I mean, I nailed that Bonk one. What I've got here for you is I've actually got two. Okay, so there's news out on this dog with a hat. Now, you guys will remember that we spoke about this one a couple of times, and it's actually starting to become something interesting. And now they've listed it on Bybit. Okay, this may be a potential opportunity, and that's coming onto Bybit. What you can do is you can go on this thing called 𝗏𝗏𝗏. If you're looking, it's 𝗏𝗏𝗏 on Solana. If you're looking at some of these coins, and you can see we traded this here. I think we were looking at this with 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗎𝗓. When was this? In December sometime. We were looking at some good areas, and now it's getting listed on Bybit. You can see something happened here. Somebody bought the absolute top. I mean, somebody got rinsed here. Wow. This. Wow. Okay. Somebody paid 3.95 for a dog with a hat token. Okay. But anyway. if we're going to be bullish and this market's going to be bullish, this little short-term pullback that we're dealing with is nothing. And you might get a potential trade here on 𝗙𝗏𝗡, and it is going to be listing on Bybit. So it might be something just to grab a little bit, some of that momentum. And why is 𝗦𝗣𝗢𝗓𝗪𝗔𝗍𝒄 keep calling me live speaker? Wait, where's he? Yeah, he says, hey, live speaker, is Hemil good? I don't know. Is he a well-behaved cat? I don't know. We're going to have to ask 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗧 if his cat is good or not. Let's say, I don't know. I don't know about this Hemil. I just know about a couple of shit coins. And here's another one today, okay? I'm the worst picker. But look at this thing. CHONKY. Okay, a guy that I know that trades this shit. And he makes a lot of money out of these things. He came to me today. He's here in the banter office. And he came to me today and he said, he's buying CHONKY. And I said, well, I guess that means I'm buying CHONKY. So I drew a little trend line here. Not that it means anything on some of these meme coins, but I bought myself a little bit of CHONKY today. And yeah, I mean, it's been around for a while. It's got a fully diluted market cap here of 17 million. So it's not like a joke, absolute rubbish. And I thought, let me have a stab at this CHONKY. So I closed one of my leverage trades that I had on one of these exchanges, and I pumped it into this CHONKY. And let's see, they must send me to zero, or maybe they can a few X me. We won't be too greedy. Okay, guys, that was yeah, there was a lot going on here today. Again, I didn't cover everything I could. I'd love to be able to sit here for hours with you guys. In fact, maybe let's organize a nice long trading session with Sheldon. We can just park off and drink tea and do those types of things while we're trading. But guys, again, wait for this pullback. Let's see how we go. You know your BTC levels. I've given you some nice potential trade setups on these altcoins. If they tie in, you should get your entries. And remember, I know I sound like I'm preaching to you guys sometimes, but come to me on the red days when things are falling over. Don't come to me when they're pumping, looking for last minute trades. You know, come to me when we're in those hot zones, when we're bleeding into those filthy areas. That's where you need to be talking to me. That is where, and that is why they call me the Lord of Entry, because I get these entries in these hot zones. Okay, so come to me on those days. Obviously, on days like this, it's pumping. We have a bit of fun. We look for some pullback. But the hard work is done when we're sweating those entries, you know, and we're really not sure about them. Those are the best ones. Guys, see you tomorrow. Always fun hanging out with you guys. And wish me luck on my short there on 2bit. Okay, see you guys later.